The cheapest flagship smartphone in the world has just been released. We've got the K20 and the K20 Pro. Here it is, or here they are, everything you need to know. So they've just been launched right here in China, and the K20 Pro is the cheapest flagship smartphone in the world. Before we get to that price, the lowest price and the highest price, because it changes if you add RAM and memory, let's go through the specs as they have been confirmed today. So of course you get the Snapdragon 855. We knew that was coming, and Redmi showed us the Antutu score, 388,000. That beats the Xiaomi Mi 9. Only just, mind you, but it does beat it. Although you probably won't see any real world difference between this and a lot of other flagships, because it obviously depends a lot on the operating system and how good the memory is, etc. But it looks like a pretty big score. They're coming in with a 6.4 bezel-less AMOLED panel, no notches, and a 91% screen to body ratio. That's looking really good. And you do have an under-screen fingerprint sensor, so all the leaks that were released last week seem to be true on this one. And you do get a triple camera setup on the back. It's incredible how cheap the cheapest option is, and is still giving us a triple camera on the back. The main sensor is a Sony IMX586. That's a 48 megapixel sensor that is used in a ton of smartphones. The Oppo Reno 10x zoom edition, the OnePlus 7 Pro, and also the Honor V20, and a long list of other smartphones use that as their main sensor. You also get an ultra wide at 13 megapixels and a zoom lens at 8 megapixels. The 20 megapixel front camera is housed in that pop-up. Xiaomi say that this thing can pop up in 0.8 seconds. You get a 4000 milliamp hour battery. Again, all the leaks on this phone have turned out to be true. 27 watt fast charging on this, which is really decent. But just as the leaks said, they never mentioned wireless charging. I assumed it wasn't there. And again, during the launch event, again, there was no mention of wireless charging, so it's not there. No wireless charging, which for a flagship phone is an omission, but when you see the price of this thing, I guess you can forgive it that. So what is the cheapest price that they're giving us for the K20 Pro? Right, so the cheapest option you can get the Redmi K20 Pro for, 6 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage, 2,499 RMB. That is a full 500 RMB cheaper than the next range of flagships that all start at around 3,000 RMB, including the Xiaomi Mi 9. This has a bigger battery than that, a full screen with a pop-up camera as well. But if you want that cheap option, you do only get 64 gigs of storage with that one. Not a huge problem for a lot of people, actually. Then you can see the price goes up to 599 for 6 gigabytes with 128 gigs of RAM, to 799 for the 8 gig RAM version, and then 2999 for the 8 gig 256 gigs of storage option. Now, interestingly, OnePlus chose today to release on their Weibo the OnePlus 7, the non-Pro variant of their new series. That goes on sale on the 4th of June in China, and take a look at this price. So actually the 8 gigabyte version with 256 gigabytes of storage is going for $29.99, which is the same as the Redmi K20 top tier version. So whilst the K20 Pro is the flagship smartphone with pretty much everything you could want, minus that wireless charging, the OnePlus 7 is the same price as that, but it's not the Pro variant, and you only get a single camera at the back there, no wireless charging, and a 60 Hz refresh rate screen, not a 90 Hz like the Pro version. So whether you like OnePlus or Redmi is up to you, but Xiaomi sell way more smartphones than OnePlus, and there's probably some reasons for that. I suggested in my leaks video that there may be two versions of the Redmi K20, and that has borne out to be true. We've got the K20 Pro, and they also released today the K20. So this is like the big brother in many ways. The differences are in the processor. You get a Snapdragon 730 instead of the 855. You do get the same size screen with the under-screen fingerprint sensor. You also keep the pop-up camera as well, so you get a full screen. So it looks pretty much the same as the K20 Pro. You also keep the triple camera at the back there with the same setup as the K20 Pro, although that main sensor is different. It's a Sony IMX582. The battery is the same size, 4000 milliamp hours, and you get 18 instead of 27 watt fast charging. But hey, this one is even cheaper, starting at $19.99 for the 6GB RAM version. And if you want a little bit more memory, you can't upgrade the RAM in this one, but if you want more memory, you can pay $20.99. So actually, these two phones from Redmi are very similar to the setup that you get in the Xiaomi lineup, the Xiaomi Mi 9 and the Mi 9 SE. Because they've been released later down the road, you've got the pop-up camera and a couple of other upgrades as well. But the prices are very similar and actually even a little bit cheaper. All right, so if you want to see more videos about tech news, handset news, leaks and coverage from China, then leave a comment and leave a like, and I'll make more of this type of video.